So today I want to answer a viewer's question, and it pertains to camcorders. And it's funny because this is very relatable to me because right now I'm at a point where I've just been playing around with different cameras, action cams, old camcorders. Right now that's not what's shooting this video. It happens to be a Sony FX30, but this is the camera I use professionally. And a lot of times you just want to play. So I just would play with older things. And this particular viewer is a beginner in video and just wants to get into it, get his feet wet, and wanted to know about a particular camcorder. So I'm just going to go ahead and read the question to you. This comes from Jimmy P. Hey, I'm just getting into video and I picked up a Canon Vixia M300 for about $200. I figured it might be a cheap way to start learning, but a couple of people told me I wasted my money since it's outdated. Do you think it's still a good beginner camera to get my feet wet, or did I mess up by buying it? All right, well, thank you, Jimmy, for your question. It's a very good question. It's funny because I actually own the Canon M31. It's right here. And I have a video on my channel that I'm going to do about this. And the reason I wanted to do a video about this little old school camcorder was because this was the first camera that I bought when I got into video, which was about 12 years ago now. This camera, and I actually used this to make money, believe it or not, this consumer grade camcorder on a few occasions. So even though it is not as fancy as the newer cameras that are out, you know, Nikon just released a brand new cinema camera, the ZR, which happens to be really, really cool camera if I do say so myself. But would someone who's just getting into video need to go buy something that's going to be like $2,200, $2,500? Absolutely not. You know, you spend $200, you're just learning. I think you made a fine decision. Even though this is not as fancy as a lot of the interchangeable mirrorless cameras that allow you to change the lenses, have better low light performance, create shallow depth of fields and stuff, which means you can make the background blurry really easily. You can still learn from something like this. Let me explain. Just because you can't necessarily blur a background really well, you still can learn how to frame a shot, right? Framing means, is your shot level? Is it crooked? These are things you need to pay attention to. Any camera is going to help you do that. Your phone is going to help you do that. So that's something to pay attention to. Shot composition is still something you need to pay attention to. Notice the background behind me. I have things, the motorcycle helmets and cameras and pictures. I'm staging the environment so it looks somewhat interesting, right? Obviously, I could do a lot better than that, but whatever. It would look bad if there was, you know, maybe some ripped up pieces of paper on the wall. You know, maybe I had like construction tape and stuff, you know, from painting jobs that went awry. You know, that's composition. Like what's behind you, what's in the frame. These are things you can still practice with any camera. Lighting is still something you can practice, right? I have a light set up right now. It's bouncing off of the ceiling and hitting me. And then there's another light right here bouncing against the wall and filling in the light on this side. So lighting is still something you can practice with any camera. This camera also has the benefit of having audio inputs, which I have a whole video coming out where I'm gonna like kind of take a walk around the camera and show you things, but you already see it. Your camera, you could plug in a microphone. You can plug in headphones to monitor your audio. So now you can practice your audio as well. How good does it sound when the mic is far away? How good does it sound when I'm wearing a lavalier like this? There's so many things you can practice without having a fancy $2,000 camera. So I think you made a good decision. You know, have fun with your camera. Plus you have crazy amounts of zoom without having to swap lenses. So there's a lot of benefits to having a camcorder. There's benefits to having the camera that's in your pocket, your smartphone. There's all kinds of benefits to all different kinds of cameras, and it's good to experiment with something like this. And then eventually you're going to experiment with a mirrorless camera. You're probably going to experiment with different kinds of lenses, and you're going to learn a ton as you go along. So I think you made a good decision. But in talking about that, I'm not sure where you bought the camera from, but I also just want to take us to eBay, because sometimes you grab a really good deal on eBay. If you're looking for that particular camcorder, you might have been able to steal it for a cheaper deal. Maybe you bought that from a friend, maybe you bought it at a garage sale or something. But let's just hop over to eBay and see what we can find this camcorder, your camcorder, or one similar for. So if I was searching for this particular camera, this is the Canon Vixia. And you see there's some things just auto-populate. You have the R series. The R series uses a smaller image sensor than the M series. So Jimmy, he chose a good one, because that's one of the better Vixia cameras. So I personally stay away from the R series ones. So I would just go Canon Vixia M. And now you see some of these ones pop up here. So we're in the 30 ones, right? We're in the 3s. I'm trying to remember, what was the difference with the 40 and the 50? I think those cameras have like more dials on them and stuff. Let's just see. M500. What does that look like? Look at this. I mean, boom. $95 for the M500. So, yeah, you might have lost a little money, but who knows? I mean, this one comes with more stuff and it's $200. So yeah, I mean, I have the 31. I have the M31, and I'm gonna show you what that one could do in the next episode. But the 500, I don't know. I have to do some more research to see, like, what was the difference with this one? Maybe the zoom is slightly different. Like, what happens if I type in the one I have, M31? I think is what I have. Let me see if they have it here. Yeah, here it is. See, mine comes with 32 gigabytes of space already built in. We'll get more into that later. But yeah, so yeah, $99, $150. Good, tested. M31's even got the charging cables with it. $79.99, tested. $79.99. So okay, so we're seeing around $80 or so for the particular one that I just showed you, which is just a little bit better than Jimmy's, but not really by much. The image quality is the exact same. It's just storage space that it comes with. That's the only difference. But here's one for $109. All right, so for $200, did you overpay a little bit? Yeah, a little bit. But if you have fun with the camera and you really, really enjoy it, who cares? If you're learning, who cares? Hit eBay up, your Facebook Marketplace, but I always feel like you have a better chance on eBay because there's just more variety of cameras on here. If you're looking, I'm gonna put links to this search down below. You can check that out if you're interested. And like I said, subscribe for more. We'll get more into the camera that I have, that Vixia M31, in one of the next episodes. And I'll see you then.